Hi everyone, my name is Katerina and I'm the designer behind WildernestKnits, and today I wanted to show you two new designs that I'm working on. The first one behind me is called the Vres Cardigan. Vres means a heather flower in Czech, and I really wanted to use that name because it reminds me of that plant which is native to my home country, and it grows in the woods nearby my home where I grew up. And you can see that it has this texture at the front, and that's a combination of lace and also cluster stitches. Let me just zoom in here a bit. And then in the back it has stockinette stitch, so you get a bit of a break here from the lace work when you're knitting it in the round, and it's worked bottom up to accommodate that stitch pattern. And also there's a bit of an interesting construction here where the decreases for the wide neckline are actually done in this part, and that way the nice texture here isn't broken up by any decreases for the neckline. And you can also see that the sleeves are quite long, which I like, and they feature this half fisherman ribs stitch, which is like an easier version of brioche stitch. And I would like to show you also the yarn that I used for this. So the yarn that I used for this design is called Wabash Woolen Works. It is made in the US and it features 66% merino wool and 30% cashmere and 4% silk. It is very luxurious, so soft. I wish you could touch it through the screen because really it is amazingly soft. I got it at a local fiber festival, and I believe the lady was from Indiana, and she has a website, so I will link that website in the description below the video. So if you're interested in this yarn, you can reach out to her and order it because it really is beautiful. And she has her own woolen mill where she creates these, and I just love the mix of colors. It inspired me to work with the texture of the heather plant because it has a similar color to it. And it's a DK weight, I believe. No, actually I think it's worsted weight. So it works up really quickly, and cardigan is really cozy. It's great for transitional weather because it's not, it has a pretty wide neckline. And let me show you how it looks. The other design that I wanted to show you today is, well, it doesn't have a name yet, but I've been calling it the Cloud Cardigan, and I'll show you why. It's because in the original design I had little birds on it in the chest area. So this was the original design, and as you can see, there are these little birds, and the design kind of evolved, and I was actually looking to do kind of a more pronounced ribbing. This was kind of like a retro style of this, but the buttons, the style of the buttons and the buttonhole has remained the same throughout the design process. But I went with a more simple design in the end, and I'm glad I did. But let me show you the little samples I did of the birds at first. So the first one I did, hope you can see this, there we go. So as you can see, there were these little clusters in the middle, and then these kind of like slip stitches to create the effect of like a flock, like a bird flock flying. But when I showed it to someone else, they said that it looks more like spiders, and I didn't like that. So then I did another sample, and this one came out a little bit better. And I kept the slip stitches, the lines, but I omitted the little clusters in the middle. And I was gonna maybe put them on like the chest area of the sweater, but then in the end I didn't, because I liked it the way it is, more simple, and it really helps to bring the attention in the middle, where the most pronounced feature are the buttons. The feature that I'm really proud of are these buttons and the button band. It's an I-cord, and it just creates these like really interesting little loops, and they hold the buttons really well too, which I like, because sometimes when you create like regular buttonholes, I don't know, the buttons just don't stay in there that well. But with this, I guess the type of button band and also the type of yarn that I used, they really stay in the place where they're supposed to really well, which I really appreciate. And so the combination of the nice clean lines and the yarn, I feel like it really created this nice smooth effect with like kind of like a cloud, like a soft cloud texture. I also recently went to some sewing classes. That's really exciting for me, and I wanted to show you a garment that I made there, which is kind of like a crop top. So yeah, just gonna show you. It took me like 4 lessons to do it, but came out quite well. It's this very simple crop top, but it has these little ribbons at the bottom which you get tied up, and yeah, I think it's really cute. I also wanted to share some news about my knitting business. I'm going to be rebranding to Nest Creative Works instead of WildernestKnits, and it's for a couple of reasons, but I feel like the biggest one is just I wanted a bit more general creative arts name that doesn't just say knitting. And also I think that my brand name was, first of all, difficult to pronounce, difficult to remember, and it got confused with WildernessKnits a lot, which is a totally different designer, and I just didn't want that to be an issue when people are searching for my brand online. So that was the decision behind that, and I hope you like the new name. And let me know in the comments below if what do you think of my new designs, and yeah, if you like the new brand name, or how are you? I know it's been a while since I made any podcast episodes, but honestly I've been taking a break from knitting for a while and also from designing, and I really got my designing mojo back in like January this year. So I didn't want to make a video until I had something to show you, and yeah, so that's what I did. So thank you so much for watching, and yeah, I hope to see you maybe next time.